The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Jesse Holley, Kurt Daniels, and Nate Newton.
It's Hump Day! Happy Hump Day to you all across the world, the land, the nation, the country. That's a live look at the Tostitos Championship Plaza outside in front of the Ford Center where the weather is. Dallas hasn't been taking in medicine again.
What the hell happened? It was
we're bipolar.
Warm yesterday.
77 degrees yesterday. A high of 55 degrees today. It'll be 52 tomorrow. Then we have a string of like 70-degree days for the next 3 days after that. Some rain mixed in there. You know, just a typical Dallas, Texas bipolar weather. He is Nate Newton. That is Kurt Daniels. I am Jesse Holley. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak. Yes. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing on this lovely hump day, Kurt?
Good.
I like
happy to be
shirt.
with you guys.
Got some color today?
Yeah, I got a little.
I'm always happy when you got some color on,
Think
Kurt.
so?
'Cause you're normally just kind of a black and white
blues,
kind of guy, blues. Just
yeah.
very, you know, today you got a little pop.
Shaking it up a little.
That's one of those shirts that someo's bought you and you're putting on.
Yeah, probably.
That's like, it was like,
making others happy.
Yeah, but it looks good on you, man. When you wear color,
Right.
I always feel, and I say this, I have on black today.
Yeah.
But color, I think, sometimes changes the color of your mood ring. When you wear brighter, lighter colors, it makes you feel a little bit more better.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Nate, you got the dad jeans, the dad shorts on over there with the long tube socks on.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to watch this film here.
We have a show. We actually have a show.
The film is.
Can you fit in a show?
That's what I'm saying.
Session?
If you let me get this out, Jess. And I will stay in order of what we're trying to do here.
23 hours.
You
to
asked
knock this
me.
thing out.
No. You asked me. And I'm trying to give you just a quick.
How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm watching this film, and then when you're ready to talk about this, I'll be ready. Okay. I mean, why he couldn't let me just get that simple thing out? I mean,
usually in most studios there's a sign that says "on air," right?
Yeah.
We have that post on the outside.
It's
right
on
the outside door.
I just don't understand.
When
Jesse,
that sign
sometimes.
goes on, that means we're ready to talk about what you're watching.
No, Jess, stop here. Stop, Jesse.
Show prep.
Come on,
man.
I'm already prepped and I'm ready. And it's a continuation.
I got
Stop,
you. All right.
Jesse.
This show is brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Chris, what's going on, brother? How you back there?
Good.
Man?
I'm doing good. I'm pretty proud of Nate over there. He picked the shortest chair we have in the room. So if you notice, he's at the kids' table.
This weight of this 3-game deal is on me, Chris. And when this weight, remind me
as we get through these 3 games.
Oh, I'm worried. But let's wait. Jess, where are we going?
Jesse,
where are we going?
Thanks for asking, Jesse.
Yeah, anytime, Chris. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for all that you do in the back. As we begin to get ready for the Cowboys taking on the Indianapolis Colts, a.k.a. the Jeff Saturdays, this Sunday night football, who am I? I don't necessarily always like the Sunday night football games for a number of reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One,
late.
I'm old, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be up. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the one good time you hit it on. Yes, I am old, and I will agree with you.
What's that make me and Nate?
It's late.
Yeah.
You got to bring me in. But go ahead on, Jess.
Because you are a part of this show, whether you know it or not, Nate. You're a huge part of what we do here.
Why you got to use the word huge, man? Stop.
No, I'm just saying, ginormous part of what we do on this show, almost refrigerator size.
Okay.
Of what we do on this show.
Where are we going today, Jess?
All right, we're going Cowboys offense, the Indianapolis Colts defense. But I was just saying, Sunday night football, it's always, as a player, you enjoy the primetime game, right? You know that there's no other games around. You're the main event. But then it's always, as a player, that I got to wait all day.
Right.
Even the song says, waiting all day for – you got to wait it's a long wait because most of the guys are up in the morning. You didn't watch the same film all week long, so you don't want to watch any more of that. You get your breakfast and your routine, and then you're like,
Yeah, what do you guys do?
now you got to just wait.
No.
Nap
or watch earlier games, or
you watch other games. You nap. Guys are playing the game. If it's a home game, you get a chance to go home, leave the hotel, so you get back to your own space, and then you head to the stadium later on after that. But if it's an away game, you're stuck at the hotel. Maybe guys may go out for a little lunch, and they'll plan meetings around that. But it's a long day. But when you're covering the game, that makes for a long day as well, because we have to be there, 2-3 hours before. Chris, you understand. You do all the camera work, so you got to be there extra early to make sure your stuff is set up before the guys get there. And then after the game is over, you're there 2-3 hours after the game is over.
How long is your show after the games?
About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. So
how long do you guys go, Nate? About 45 minutes to an hour after the games?
Oh, it's just different. We go first word, and that take about 10 minutes, and then we go an hour, and then we have a 30-minute show.
Yeah, but for you guys.
Yeah, but boy, Jesse, wow.
All right, just a little bit of house business. The Cowboys released Terrell Basham yesterday. They opened up the window, 21-day window for Washington,
right?
As well as starting linebacker. I don't know if he'll be starting anymore, but he was a starting linebacker. Anthony Barr has come back to practice, and he's practicing again today. So, some are out and some are coming back. And, of course, still looming, still floating around in the air. Floating around in the air. He didn't get kicked off this time. But Odell Beckham will be coming in for a visit very soon.
Were you surprised at all by the Basham move?
I guess. But, I mean,
people got to leave and people got to come.
Yeah.
You're balancing your roster.
He was a depth guy, and maybe give some younger guys a chance, I guess.
And then you, of course, Tack McKinley is also still on this football team that they signed 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So I'm sure you'll see an elevation for him this week from the practice squad and see what he's like in the game this upcoming Sunday night. What do you want to start? You want to start offense? Want to go Cowboys offense?
Sure.
All right, so Cowboys offense, and I saw this stat on the way that we were coming in, and people have been texting me and tweeting me like, you need to talk about what Shady McCoy has been saying and Shady, and I go, one, I don't listen to those shows.
Yeah,
I don't. There's certain people and certain networks that I don't. And shout out to our guy Dave Hellman. I support Dave as much as I can. I see the clips and stuff like that. But there's certain voices who at times I can care less to hear about. And Shady's one of them.
Oh.
Shady's one of those guys who you really just don't want to hear about. And he has his, of course, Shady, longtime Philadelphia Eagle, was drafted by Philadelphia. I spent a lot of time there. So there's a little bit of bias in some of his commentary when he talks about the Cowboys. But nonetheless, he's always talking about the Cowboys.
True.
And one of the things that he's been talking about consistently is his dislike or disdain or whatever diss that you want to use towards Dak Prescott, how he's a system quarterback, he's not really that good, and he's average. And so the thing that everyone has been tweeting me about is like, hey, you heard what Shady said the other day, and he talked about Dak Prescott only throws the ball, dink and dunk, and da-da-da-da-da. And so Michael Gelkin came out with a stat, and I don't know if Michael was coming back at Shady McCoy, but it was an interesting stat since we're talking about the Cowboys offense. Since Dak has come back, they have the number one scoring offense, the number one third down conversion offense. They're number 2 in I think touchdowns or yards or something like that. So they're all 1 or 2 or 3 in the tops of offensive since Dak has come back as the starting quarterback. Here's the stat though from Michael Gelkin. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott pushed the ball downfield in Week 12, and this is why I think it's to Shady McCoy because it says Week 12. Week 12 more than any other NFL quarterback, averaging 12.1 air yards per pass attempt, according to Next Gen Stats. He completed 70% of those 30 passes. His 17.7 completion rate over expected. Was that the EROX? All these different things.
Yeah.
Also led the league in Week 12. And so I start by saying, Cowboys offensively, has Dak shaken off all of the rust? And is Dak back? Is he back into being that incomplete control, doing the things that he wants to do on the football field, and has his feel of this is my team, I'm running the show?
It sure looks like it. I mean, like you just reeled off all those stats. I mean, he's he's got the offense clicking a lot better. Now, we're still seeing, like first half last week was kind of came out slow, but yeah, I mean, I would think he's back to whatever normal Dak is. Now, the caveat with that, the one concern is, does he try to start doing too much? Is he's feeling better? Are we going to start seeing 40-plus passes a game or whatever? Hopefully not. Hopefully he and Kellen recognize that this team has to be balanced if they're going to go very far.
I think when you look at what Dak has become when he's come back, and
what has he become?
I think when he's become as a quarterback is I think he finds himself in the position of trying to show the world that I can sling it with the best of them. And I think he's becoming into that realm of that. And I'm not saying that he can't, but again, I read the stats off a week ago, is when he's at that 30 and under, that he's a much better quarterback.
Right.
And then to think this is to have your quarterback and your offensive coordinator be synced is to have an offense that understands their strengths, their weaknesses, what passes are good for them, what passes aren't good for them, and just trying to keep them on schedule. I think at times Dak and Kellen aren't always in sync. I don't have the answer of, is that Dak's fault or is that Kellen's fault?
Yeah.
That answer I do not have. But we see what it's like when they're humming.
Right.
We see when they're like when everything is all the calls are right, the plays are working, and you always hear when things don't go right, a coach will go, yes, come down to execution.
Yeah. So I think I don't know, recently, yesterday or whatever, like we've seen where he's thrown interceptions right before the half 3 of the last 4 times, and they kind of asked him about that, and he said, he basically said, I'm always going to be aggressive. So how do you balance him being aggressive and trying to do too much with, you draw that back too much, then you're slowing things down. I mean, is that something that's got to come to Dak, or is that something that Kellen and McCarthy have kind of got to?
Well, a lot of quarterbacks.
Oh, hey, whoa.
A lot
this
of
is Nate Newton, ladies and gentlemen. We have Nate, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Nate Newton. I didn't know.
You never threw it to me.
I never knew if you were ready to play or not. I didn't know.
No. I'm saying, I was watching the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3-time Super Bowl champion.
I'll eventually get it out. And we wasting time. But I was saying I was watching film because I was still studying, preparing. But this is the thing about it is your aggression should never hurt your team. Right. The best quarterbacks in the league know situation football. And 10 years ago or even 4 years ago, say you're a system quarterback, that bothered a lot of people. But Tom Brady has been one forever at the highest level. So being aggressive, as long as it don't hurt your team, I mean, if you're throwing that ball, you're up by 10, 10 seconds left on the clock, you pass the 40 and you throwing a bomb. Okay, you took a shot. But early in the game, being aggressive, taking a shot on a team that's basically thinking that they're in second place with you, no, that's it's called being smart. So is it a thin line? I guess for people that want to believe that, but for me, it's not.
Yeah.
It's either you don't take shots that hurt your team, and like you're gonna have to throw to win.
Yeah,
I believe that. But your system right now, and Jesse, tell me if I'm wrong. Your system says that short to intermediate routes and using everybody at your disposal is what you do.
Yeah. Until
you get that big play guy that can make it happen. I'm talking about long. I'm talking about deep in the middle. That's when you're at your best as a quarterback. When you can throw that ball in the middle and know that your guy's going to get it, now you messing up the defense for real. Mm-hmm. Because I don't care if it's a pass or if it's a run. When you can go up the middle of a defense, you throw them all out of kilter.
Yeah. And that goes to the stat that you said this earlier, Nate. You talked about Dak's passer rating per down. Is that when Dak's passing the ball on first down is 87.5%.
Right.
Second down, 119.1. Third down, it's 67.1, and fourth down, 39.6. And I think it goes to Nate's point is in those earlier downs, you're dealing with more of the basics of defenses. right? Normally, first downs are rundowns. So teams aren't going to give you a lot of different exotic looks. They're going to kind of line up and be what they're in. Yeah. But the third down is what teams have figured out when it comes to Dak Prescott is we can confuse him, or we're going to try to confuse him. Yeah. And as long as he has to kind of read through different coverages, that at times gives the defense a slight bit of an advantage because of, they can look at it like a cover 2 now. And I should say not just Dak, but the receivers as well. Mm-hmm. Confuse them as well and have them not being as sharp as they need to be on those specific downs. And I think Nate's point was great, is that your aggression should never hurt your team. Yeah. Your aggression should be controlled aggression. Your aggression should be smart aggression. And, there are moments and times in games where aggression is needed. And there's moments and times in games where you can say, you know what, let me take profit and we'll live to see another down. A punt is okay, instead of taking those chances and putting your team and your offense in unpeculiar situations.
Yeah. Wasn't that kind of a criticism of Romo? And how did they kind of the team handle
by running the ball 1,000 times?
Yeah, Romo was a gunslinger, right? And so, it's for him. And it goes back to the percentages, is that the aggressive types, again, are going to be aggressive, but it's being smart. Yeah. The thing about Romo was it just felt like he could be aggressive 100 times and be good 99 times. And then he'll have the one where you're like, oh.
So as players, you guys were fine with that?
I can tell you right now, as a receiver, I'm always going to want a quarterback that thinks we should. I'm just telling you.
You're the wrong one to ask.
Yeah, I'm the wrong one to ask, because I'm like, oh, you're going to be aggressive? Let's go. Because we always think that we're open. I know people are going to say, yeah, you weren't out there all the time. But hey, I was in practice, and it doesn't matter. All right, we're going to go to break. When we come right back, we're going to get Nate. We're going to get some of Nate's locked-in laser defensive focus on the Indianapolis coach. He got to have a lot to say because he's over there looking intense at the Indianapolis Colts defense. So stay right here with us. Jesse, Kurt, Nate, we're hanging with the boys. We'll be right back.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys on this marvelous but chilly Hump Day Wednesday. We're breaking down the Cowboys and Colts as we get ready for this Sunday night showdown. Is it a showdown, though? Is it? I'm trying to make it sound like it's a Sunday night show. Is it a showdown though?
No, with the Colts, I don't think.
The Colts. How weird are the Colts? Right? You go from. Excuse me. The Colts being one of the perennial playoff teams, Super Bowl contending teams under Peyton Manning. Then you draft perfectly. You bring in Andrew Luck, and you kind of just continue on that same path of, hey, we're going to be competitive and we're going to be, really, really, really good. And then out of the blue, out of nowhere, Andrew Luck says, "Hey y'all, I'm gonna go ahead to the crib. I'm gonna go ahead to the apartment, and I'm gonna hang these up," and retires. And it seems like the Colts have been almost Cleveland Brownish with the quarterback carousel that they've brought in. Jacoby Brissett. They've had, of course, the old man Rivers. They've had Carson Wentz. They had a plethora of other ones. Matt Ryan now, and so it's weird, and it's funny just how important the quarterback position is to any franchise. And so I say all that to say, even for the Cowboys, after Troy Aikman retired, there was a long list of quarterbacks that showed up here that didn't pan out. And there was a level of ineptitude when it came to football for the Cowboys. And, through the miracle of Sean Payton and Bill Parcells, they find this kid out of Eastern Illinois. And undrafted guy, and they bring him in and, give him a little bit more money to sign here than signing somewhere else.
Yeah. And even then, if Quincy Carter doesn't get popped and get kicked off the team, Romo's probably cut that year. So
and sometimes you just need a little bit of luck or a rest to go your way. And then from there you have Tony Romo, and then you fall into Dak Prescott. And that gives you an opportunity to keep your franchise moving in the right direction. And even in the absence of Dak Prescott, you got Cooper Rush. Now, I'm not saying Cooper Rush is our next franchise quarterback, but I'm saying that having a quarterback that is franchise worthy means a whole hell of a lot to your franchise. And you've seen this Indianapolis Colts team have a downward spiral. And I think the biggest part of it is they have not had that leader at the quarterback position. But the one side of the ball for the Indianapolis Colts that's kind of been keeping things afloat. And when you start watching the film, it's always interesting when you start looking at the roster, right? You go, oh, what number is that? And you go, oh, DeForest Buckner, that's a name that we know. It's a good player in the league. And you start looking around, you go, oh, Yannick Ngakoue. Oh, yeah, I remember him. That's a good player. And the list, Rodney McLeod and Stephon Gilmore. You start seeing the names on it, and you go, man, this team is that they have some of the names on there. But overall, it's just a team that's been in major influx and hasn't been able to put things together. So as we shift,
statistically, they're not a horrible defense.
Right.
I mean, they're like sixth in yards allowed. I think they haven't given up 30 points this year. I mean, they haven't. They're always playing from behind.
They just find a way to lose.
Yeah, they don't.
When you have a team that's veteran like this, that's set and ready to win with all these names, and then you lose your stud Leonard. That was the leader of their defense. When you lose him. And I'm looking at the linebackers. They're undersized guys, but they can run. They can flat out fly. But if they don't have an advantage, playing on the other side of the ball, they're very poor tacklers. They can't make things happen. Got a nice defensive line, like you say with DeForest Buckner. But I'm telling you this right here, man. This is how you lose the confidence of the team. This is where I think Jeff Saturday say he can come in and he can motivate these guys, because if you get the right coach in there and get you a quarterback, call him system or not, that will not throw interceptions or can make a few plays for you, this is a different team. Mm-hmm. This is what I've seen. They're a different team. I'm trying to look here and find a bunch of fault with this team. The only fault they have is they got rid of their coach. They had too many hum-ho quarterbacks that was on the back end of their career or did not have it at all. And this team is paying a hell of a price because they don't have a quarterback, and you put your team in disarray. I like Jeff Saturday personally. I think he's a good dude, but this is not right.
Let me get this in right quick. This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. Also, movie night. Get cozy. Join us at the Star for the most festive movie night yet. Movie night at the Star presented by Monument Realty is on November 30th feature a Christmas classic, Elf. The show is free and open to the public, begins at 7 p.m. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com. So come out and see a free movie. I think to Nate's point.
Where does be at, Jess? Where they be at?
In the whatchamacallit?
Out here on the
plaza. On the plaza.
On the big plaza. You got to stand outside if it's cold?
Yeah, you bring your lawn chair.
All right, okay. All right.
You coming?
I'm not cold.
Oh, wow. You were inquiring like.
I'm like, I thought it was inside of the big stadium. I'm like, okay, I can come to that. Right, get your popcorn ready. But shoot, you got to bring out a grill or something to keep warm.
So, Nate, when you look at this defense and to what Kurt was saying, they're not a bad defense. Having given up 30 points, and it reminds me when we talk about our defense at times, I'm not comparing the two defenses. The statement is that when you put so much pressure on a defense to have to be perfect, and then on the other end, you don't give them any sort of relief. For a long time, the Colts, they had a really good running game with Jonathan Taylor. He's been out for an extended period of time. He's now back. Yeah. But, first it's Matt Ryan's in, and then it's the Texas kid that was Ellinger, and then back to Matt Ryan, and, Frank Wright didn't know. And so for the defensively, it makes you have to play these perfect type games. You're on the field, to Nate's favorite stat of the day, the time of possession.
Yes.
They're on the field for a long time. You're asking them to be perfect. And, when you have nothing to sit back on, when you have nothing to come back and be like, all right, cool, we don't have to be perfect because our offense is going to come in and give us 12, 14, 15 points to play around with, 17 points, 20 points to play around with. Mm-hmm. Now we can kind of, be a little bit more loose. Yeah. And I think losing their leader in Leonard, who to me was one of the premier linebackers in this league. When people were making Micah Parsons comparisons and saying, LT, I've always said let's take a step back. Especially like his rookie year, I was like, man, it reminds me a lot of what Leonard is. He's strong, he's fast, he's physical, he can rush, he can tackle. Like he even won the Defensive Rookie of the Year his rookie year. And, injuries have now hurt his career a little bit, and hopefully he comes back from that. But missing him as another kind of a missing link in the chain of this exceptional defense, where do you think, if there's an advantage for this defense, where would you say that they may have it? And it may not be a big one, but corner.
Gilmore's still smart. Mm-hmm. He still can make plays.
Former Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, he still can make plays. And in Buckner, they can crank it up, but it's just not enough. I mean, I'm watching them against the Steelers, and they getting after it, man. But it's still, they'll stop them, and then all of a sudden they'll have them. The defense be playing perfect, and the offense just get an extra push, and all of a sudden you got a 15-yard run or a big catch or here a flag. That's deteriorating. As the game go on and you playing defense, and as long as you reacting and hitting and things are going fast, this defense all right. But when you get to pounding and things get to going slow, and you just keep getting hit and keep getting hit. I mean, because they got back in the game the other night against the Steelers, but all of a sudden the Steelers just kept playing. And like now I'm looking at, my man number 90, Big Grover Stewart. He just ran 5 yards down the field, and the guy tackled the guy in front of him, and you can see how he just threw his head up like. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can see the body language like, man, this thing's starting to get ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You mentioned that their linebackers are fast.
They fast.
What kind of problems does that present?
Because when I double team a deuce block, when I'm me in the guard or me in the tackle, it's got one guy in front of us and we were trying to block. But if that guy fast and he can run, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get off because that guy that you trying to block, deuce block.
Explain that. I want you to explain to the people the deuce block. What does it look like? You're talking about the guard and the tackle.
Yeah, and
they're on one man.
Cheek, yeah,
and then they work up the field on that guy. And then one guy tails off to the linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to know what a deuce block is when you guard your tackle.
Yeah.
They take on that
either
defender
your
in
center
front
or
of them.
your guard.
Yeah, and then working. And at the last second, one of them tail off to get that second block, and then it's like boom, boom,
and that's the inside run. But if you slip blocking where boom you hit and I slip off, that's a directional play. You know what I'm saying? It's either outside or kind of outside play to either side, but that's where you kind of slip a guy.
And it's just harder to get them because they're faster.
And if you're trying to get outside, see, I just don't think you should be able to get outside of these guys. You know, you may do some off, but you shouldn't be able to get it because they linebackers can run.
When you look at, and Nate, you tell me, but when you look at, a guy, I go back to last week's game, and it wasn't one of Tyler Smith's best performances. He had the young Kayvon Thibodeau on him, and Kayvon, the thing about Kayvon is Kayvon hasn't figured out moves yet, right? His toolbox is not full. He got a socket wrench, but that's pretty much it. He don't got a socket wrench. He don't have pliers. And that comes along with time, with coaching. You develop these different moves. Guys work in the offseason. Shout out to Von Miller when he does his pass rushing camp. They all get together and they learn, different things. But the one thing that he did do well was speed. And that was something that really affected Tyler Smith. So I look at a guy like DeForest Buckner who, can use some speed, and you got the other guys like Yannick Ngakoue. I remember him in his Baltimore days. This was a guy who's physical, who's strong, and has some speed with him. Now, will they line him up on the left side, which would be Terrence Steele's right side, or will they line up on the right side and give him a shot to go after Tyler Smith again? I think if there's one thing that we should be peeking out looking for again is how will Tyler Smith rebound? And going up against a veteran like Yannick, that's going to test him again. Is he still? Did the rookie wall hit? Is he still kind of in his head about his performance last week against the Giants? Has Jason Peters kind of pulled him to the side and say, all right, listen, young fella, shake that off. Let's work on technique this week and get back because it's what you're facing.
This is every other game. This is starting to happen every other game. A good game, a bad game, a good game, an okay game. It's starting to happen every other game.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
go ahead.
As an offensive lineman, especially a young offensive lineman, right, it's –
you have to fight through it.
A good friend of mine is Derek Hollins, right? A former, he's still a current MLB pitcher. But they always talk about the second and third time around you have to face a batter or a pitcher. They've kind of picked up on some things.
Yeah.
Is it the fact when you look at a tackle in every game for Tyler Smith, it's the first time he's ever seen this guy, right? There is no experience for Tyler Smith. He has no memory to go back on. Jason Peters has, 20 years in this league? Yeah. 18 years in this league. He done seen every defensive coordinator, any premier pass rusher he has played against or has someone equal to that he can go back and say, hey, I remember playing him. And here's what.
Most of all, you got film. You can just crank up the film.
But you and I both know.
Yeah.
You and I both know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
got
one
film
thing.
Playing against
it's
people.
one thing to turn on. You always talk about, you could turn on Reggie White and see the power and the strength. It's a whole nother can of paint.
And that's what I'm saying.
When he humping you over his side.
This guy of 20 years have played, so he can turn on film.
Right.
But this guy that haven't played can't turn on film. I agree with you. If I never played against you, I love when Parsons plays somebody for the very first time. Because I don't care how great a technique person you ain't seen that speed.
Yeah.
But now as time go on and he played 80 people can judge. I'm talking about just person. Right. But like you said, he has not, and it's been okay this game, not so good this game.
Do you think, though, that, we know that in 2-3 weeks, whatever, Tyron Smith's coming back, and so Tyler Smith, the word is he might move to guard. Is that Is that hurting him in somehow? Is he starting to play some guard snaps out here?
I like that thought. Let's hold on to it.
All right.
Let's simmer on it. Let it.
And we'll talk a little bit during off.
Yeah. I like that. I like where you went right there, Kurt. But I'm gonna tease it.
Ooh.
Let that simmer over this last break. We'll come back and we'll talk about that as we finish out this show. That's Kurt Daniels. That is Nate Newton. I am Jesse Holly. We are hanging with the boys. Come right back with us. Don't go nowhere because we coming right back. Just hang with the boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys as we finish up this breakdown of the Indianapolis Colts defense and your Dallas Cowboys offense, getting ready for a Sunday night football showdown. This marks the next 3 games that the Cowboys will have.
Cupcakes. All right. What's wrong?
From the mouth of Nate Newton. I didn't call them cupcakes, but a nice little red velvet cupcake would be nice. Sure. I'll take one. I'll take a nice little. Listen, you can only play who they put on the schedule. True. So if they put cupcakes on the schedule, as Nate said, then let's eat them.
Let me say this right quick, like Jess. At the beginning of the year, all of us sitting here laughing because we had the East was the sorriest division, and we all laughing. Yeah. Now that the East has right now 4 playoffs teams. Yep. So somebody over there in the South kind of disappointed.
Troy Vincent, you upset up in New York. You thought we was going. You thought you had us pegged, and you were gonna.
Don't stop, man. Don't do that, computer, man.
So as we went into the break, Kurt, you came up with an amazing question. I thought that was fantastic, right. And then Nate in the break.
Nice shirt.
It's the shirt. Yes. Must be the shirt.
Must be the shirt.
Yeah. Spike Lee told Jordan it must be the shoes. Nate's telling Kurt it must be the shirt. Whatever it is, you're a superstar today. We every day we appreciate you so much, Kurt, for all that you bring. And let me say this, side note. People don't think, I know Kurt isn't the most talkative. Don't worry, I take up the words that he don't use. But a lot of this stuff doesn't get done. Kurt is the order of what this show is run. So he is, trust me, he is a huge, integral part. See, I use huge for Kurt too. Huge, integral part of Hanging with the Boys.
You're talking about his brain and my body. Hey, that's messed up. But anyway, hey, let's get to it, baby.
So, what was your question? Readdress the crowd with your question.
Well, we all know in 2 or 3 weeks, Tyron Smith is going to be back, and he'll slip back into the left guard position. And the assumption is Tyler Smith will move left guard.
Yes, he will.
We know Tyron's going to move to left tackle. Tyler will move to left guard. Is that playing in the back of his mind any? Is he now taking reps at practice at left guard? Is that affecting him, or is that going to affect him in any way?
No. Hold on, let me answer. I'm the 3-time Super Bowl champion at offense. Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Please, let's go to our resident.
The thing is, right now, he is the left tackle, so he has to think that way. And they have to coach him that way. But we talked off air about he's been getting a good game, a halfway decent game, and last week he didn't win. He didn't win. I'll just put it like that. And what he's dealing with is his technique loses as the game goes on because guys are speeding him. And instead of him getting out there, getting set up and putting his hands on him and working his technique, it seemed like he get a little raggedy, and that hurts.
Is that rookie Wall that you're talking about?
I don't know.
Getting tired?
I don't know. But like Jesse said when we was off air, a lot of times you like, and he got the ball away. Against a more veteran guy with a little bit more in his toolbox, he can use that against him. What he's got to do is get himself out, get out there and get set up. And when he got a guy that's in a wide 9, this guy can't get back inside of you. So don't worry about it. So get out there and get set up and use your hand. And even in the run blocking, he overdoes it sometimes because he wants to maul. He wants to, you can see him grabbing dudes and almost squeezing their shoulder pad like it's a pimple he's about to bust their head.
Why is that a bad thing? You would think they'd want
Because when you do that, you got the guy, so you don't need to take him and move him. Because when you take him and move him, the refs see color. And all of a sudden, this guy could have been leaning the right way. And even though you finna slam him in the ground, they think you holding because all that dude got to do is reach your arm out.
Right.
So sometimes just get out there and block the dude, then let him go. And that way the ref won't see that. Even when it's scary, it hurts more against Pollard because Pollard got that ability to get way back on a cutback. And so when Zeke cut back, it's only one space. When Tony cut back sometimes, it's 2 spaces. That guy see that, he go to lean, and this dude got him in a chokehold. He blocking him because he's coming play side, but all of a sudden he jumped back 2 holes. Now you got the ref catches that.
You said in the break too that he was a grabber.
Yeah, he's a mauler, man.
As a grabber, you mean he's using his hands too much?
Yes. What thing about it, he don't care about inside. He just want to get his hands on you. And what he's got to do is continue to work inside. So even when he grabs a guy and the refs see that, he don't see your hands on the outside of his shoulder pads, so he ain't going to call it. But if he sees your hands on the outside of his shoulder pads, like I said, a lot of times guys be kind of trying to drop to the ground because he be moving them. He's an earth mover now, but that don't always help. But speed is killing him. Just sure, you go back to the Rams game. We won, but, man, the big boy, he was getting him. He was coming off that edge, and he got to defend that. Now, him going to guard, it closes down the house. That's why I love guard. If you can't get me on that first step, I got you. And that's all he got to think about. If this dude don't get me on the first step, he got him because you're in a box. You're in a box. You go from out there, wide open space like Brazil, to down there, you know what I'm saying, in the Bahamas, baby.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You think he's going to be a better, having seen him now all these weeks playing tackle, you think he's going to be a better guard?
He's going to work. He's going to rock it guard. He's going to rock it guard. Yeah, because everything ain't close. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say the quote that you said in the break, and you didn't quite get there. So I'm gonna
do your thing.
Because you said when it comes to Tyler Smith, you said sometimes just block the dude.
Yeah.
You don't gotta bury him.
Nah.
And I think that was so profound because just block him. Sometimes you're not gonna get a pancake, or you're not gonna be able to move the earth.
Right.
But if you just block him and focus on that instead of trying to make everything a highlight.
Yeah.
I think you'll have more success there than trying to, bury a dude.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, because even our great right guard got a holding period where he just buried a dude. And that's because the ref called it out the corner of his eye. Because if he'd have saw it from the whole beginning, he would have enjoyed the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Was that hard for you to learn, not to just try to maul guys?
No, because, see, we played a different brand of football back then. It was all about being physical and being ugly and being nasty. Now, you get nasty on the dude, he'll go to hollering and crying, Ref, he holding me. No, he blocking you, but, Yeah, it's a different brand of football. I just think like this right here, it is no more discussion on whether we think they should move Tyron. He's going back to left tackle. So it ain't no more discussion. He's going to left tackle. You got your left guard who's supreme now. He knows he can play left tackle when it comes time. He's your left guard. I just feel bad for Connor McGovern, who worked his behind off, and
but those are the breaks of the NFL. Like
yes, it is.
That's sometimes the breaks of the NFL. You can sometimes.
I knocked Kevin Gogan out like that. I stabbed you in the back, Kevin. I'm sorry, but I did.
And that's the thing that I laugh about then. I laugh about it now. Right. Is that there's this love, and I wholeheartedly believe that there's not a tighter knit group in any position, any position on the National Football League team than the offensive line. And the love is real.
Yeah.
But it's always this. Especially if I'm a backup, hey, I really like you. You my boy. But the moment that comes where I get a chance to take your job, if coach goes, hey, Jesse, you starting over Kurt today, I'm not going to go, oh, man, that's my boy, coach. Nah, leave Kurt. I'm going to go, all right, let's go. And so there's that love of, I'm sure Tyler and Connor are really tight.
Yeah. Right.
But when it comes back and it goes, no fault to your own, you worked really hard, Connor McGovern, and you've improved and you've done some good things, but take your place over there on the sideline and be ready to be ready.
Yeah, I mean,
and Noah, and make sure you watch what I'm doing so you can tell when I'm doing wrong.
When I come to the sideline, be helpful to me.
Connor had beaten Tyler out coming out of training camp. He was going to be the starting guard, so we'll,
So much for that.
They've come a long way now.
So much for that now. All right, man, that'll do it for our show today. Tomorrow we will do the Cowboys defense and the Indianapolis Colts offense. Nate, you got about 22 hours.
Yeah, I'm watching this film.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You got 22 hours before the show starts tomorrow.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to figure out is,
so
how do a team get bad, and it's just because of their quarterback?
Well, we'll tell us tomorrow because you'll have 22 hours to watch the film. And
Are you here tomorrow?
Oh, no, you're not here tomorrow.
That's why I got 48.
You got 48 hours. Nate got 48 hours.
Get it right. Wow,
Nate got 48 hours
for the day, bro. Thank you for the day.
To do that, man. We are always so thankful.
And Shannon, you rubbed off on this dude, man.
What'd I do?
Yeah, I mean, you just don't. You act like Shannon now. You just go off. You know what I'm saying? You're not the voice of reason. I don't let Kurt fool you. You're not the voice of reason anymore.
Well, I had to give that position up.
Holding that title.
I had to give that position up when I took over this seat, the fearless leader seat. So can't be the voice of reason. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
yes, I am. I'm the voice. I'm Zaddy. I'm the voice of reason. I'm all of the above.
Oh yeah.
I'm not Zaddy.
That you are.
All right, thank you, Kurt. See, that's what I'm saying. This is why I come at you and not come at Kurt, because Kurt got love for me. You be doing something over there crazy.
Holy Trinity.
Amen corner over there, right?
The Holy Trinity.
All right, man. We appreciate you all so much for tuning in and hanging with the boys. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Kurt, my man, sir. I love the shirt, man. Whoever got you that shirt, tell him I said thank you.
Thank you, Kurt.
Chris Beam in the back, keeping us up and running. Audio Jazz. What's up, Jazz? Brother Willie, Broham Willie, Brethren Willie. Whatever name you want to go by this week, we appreciate you for getting us up and running on the networks and all that good stuff, man. And Derek Eagleton, we appreciate you as well, boss.
Oh, kiss up to the boss.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to. I'm going to ask for a raise at the end of this year. So let me make sure.
If we go in there together, we can make something happen.
No, we're not going in there together.
Now, I'm saying if we go in together, if you go in there 2 weeks later, I just happen to mention it. We need a little extra.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They probably gonna give you more than me because you've been on the show longer.
They ain't gonna do that.
All right, well, we'll see.
They equal.
We'll see, because I'm
well, once you take a pay cut, because you're a normal guy and we not, so you take a pay cut to help the team.
I'm getting 0 for this. I can't take no more cut.
Chris, that leaves you to take a pay cut for us to get a raise.
Yeah.
So, go up there and tell Derek that you want a little less so we can get a little bit more.
We'll put a Jazz on the practice squad.
All right, man, that does it for us.
They're just moving me closer and closer to the back door.
We appreciate you all, man. This is Hanging with the Boys. We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.